Hello everyone and welcome to the WeakAura's tutorial. I've noticed that some people are using it and I've had some questions about it, and I was thinking why the hell not, since I got some time I'll make a video about it. Maybe it helps some other people out, not only the guild but maybe some other YouTube people. So let's get started. WeakAuras is a tracking add-on. Now I'll delete this one because I was experimenting with it before I did just what I wanted to show you. So yeah, it tracks everything and anything. You can really make it do whatever you want. There are so many possibilities. It's almost endless. Going from just tracking a debuff to HOTS to spell cooldowns, item cooldowns, trinkets, um, just reminding you when you enter a raid to take your chill pill, stuff like that. It's really awesome. Downside is if you don't configure it good and you have several classes, that it might be very heavy on the CPU and memory. As you can see, I opened the options menu and it's 26 megabytes. Although when you close it and you reload your screen, then that will drop because the options menu is not open anymore. So let's get started. Let's add, what shall we add first? We'll add a debuff. Now, you want to press new, and then you get options. You can make it to whatever you want. I'll show you the various options. Progression texture is just a texture that you can see your cooldown or whatever that you want to track go down. It's a bit like a progress bar, but with a texture. Texture is the same as a progress texture, except that it just pops up on your screen. For example, you can put a texture of a pill in your folder of your add-on and then load that into your game, and then every time you enter a raid, let's say you added a pill texture of a medicine pill, then every time you enter a specific raid you get the texture pop up with the pill, and maybe with some text on it saying take your chill pill, something like that. It's very easy. Dynamic grouping I will explain a bit later. Group also. Model is just a model. It's some 3D fancy stuff that you can use, but it's very heavy on the memory and CPU, so I wouldn't recommend it. You can do it with the other things. Now, text is just a plain text like I have here. When my Savage Defense is ready and I got enough rage for it, it pops up dodge ready. Icon is just an icon. I don't think I have any set up yet, but I will show you in a sec. And progress bar is like my Savage Defense progress bar. It's like a cooldown bar or a buff tracking bar, because Savage Defense, if you use it, it's a buff, so it's actually just checking for your buff's duration. Now, import is you can import encoded strings. That means if someone else makes a texture or someone else makes something in WeakAuras, he can export it, give the string to someone else, and he can import it, and you have exactly the same configuration as that other person. That's how you share the WeakAura strings. You can Google, for example, for your class, let's say Guardian Drew with WeakAura string, and you will get some videos, you will get some coding, everything that you need. If you fancy something, you just copy it and you import it. Let's make, what shall we make first? Let's make some progress bar, and let's make it some a buff. I want to track, although I'm a Guardian, I will want to track my rejuvenation. It's nothing fancy, I just want it to be tracked, just to show you, because this might apply to restoration druids as well. So I'm going to do a progress bar, because I want it to be shown as a progress. How long the duration is left on a certain player. And I call it Rejuv, or just Rej. Then you see it pops up, a progress bar pops up, but that's just standard. It's not going to react to anything, it's not going to react to your rejuvenation, and it's not going to do anything by itself. What you want to do is go to the load tab, trigger tab. This is where you will add to what it reacts. The type is a type that you want it to react to. In this case, rejuvenation is a spell. It gives you, it comes from a spell, but it gives you a buff. The buff is called rejuvenation, and buffs and debuffs are considered as aura. So you just leave it on aura, aura name, rejuvenation. You see, you got 32 matches because there are a lot of rejuvenation skills in game, but that doesn't really matter. It's just the icon, and it will track everything. And you will want to track it on your target. I don't want to track it on myself. I want to track it on my target. And the aura type is a buff. It's not a debuff, it's a buff. And then on here, you can do remaining time, but that's not really applicable for this one. Stack count either, because you can't stack it. But I will always click on only, because imagine that you're in a raid, you got 6 Resto Druids, for example, a bit much, but you got 6 Resto Druids. And they're all spamming rejuvenation on a target. When you click that target, then you will get all the 6 rejuvenations and you won't have a clue which one is yours. So you want to track only for your debuffs and for your buffs. Unless there is a reason not to, but I can't really imagine any reason at the moment why you why you would want to track someone else's debuff or buff on a target. If you have the same one, that is. Now load. Load is important because if you just leave it like this, WeakAuras will load the strings, the project that you worked on and that you have. It will load it on any character that you log in, but it uses a lot of memory, unneeded memory, because this I only want on my druid. I can't do anything with it on my hunter, on my shami, on my paladin. They don't have that spell, and I don't want to track it on other people when I'm playing them. So what I will do is, I will do player class, druid, talent spec. You can do a talent spec. I will do nothing because then I can't track it now. But you could possibly do do restoration. Sorry. And now, when I close it, nothing pops up until I select the target, and then you have the progress bar. Now, we're gonna do it a bit further. I wanna drag it to here so it pops up nice above my target. Yep, that's good. Trigger is all set. Actions, you can make it glow, you can make it play sound when, you can play around with this. And animation, you can make it swirl over your screen or whatever. But don't make it too, fancy. You don't want like a million things going all over your screen. So yeah, now we're gonna work on the display. I don't like red. I don't like the color red for a buff. It's like, I don't know, when I see red, I immediately think of debuffs, I think of hurt, I think of spamming more heals. So that's not good, because I want it to be something soothing. I want to see that it's still on the target. So I'm gonna take green. That reminds me of buffs, that reminds me of Zen, so that the target is still safe. Maybe be far-fetched, but that's the way your mind works, It associates some colors with some kind of things, and it can work really well. It's just to help you a bit more. And it's very good for your reaction time. Now I set up all my other progresses bar with the heal bot texture, so it's a bit more glossy, and I want everything to be the same. Just, don't want all kind of different textures used. Now the left text, the name, I don't need the name to pop up because I have the icon already, but I want the icon on the left. So I'm going to move that to the left. And there we go. And the time, I don't need that, so I just gonna do it like that. Rotate text, no. Right to left is good, yes. Now icon to the left. what I would want is left text. I'm gonna place the remaining cooldown, it's not cooldown, remaining time. I'm gonna place that on the left side. I don't want that on the right side. So there we go. And actually, do I need... Nah, I don't need it at all. I can see it as a progress bar. I don't really need it for this one. So I will just remove that. There we go. And I'm gonna do the white. I'm gonna do it 250 because that's as long as my frame is almost. So it gets a nice layout. And I'm gonna do it on 20 height. It's a bit more clear to see that way. And there we go. Now we have it fully working. I do it on myself, I click the target, and there we go. A nice pop-up, nice progression bar. Now, is there anything else that I can do on myself? That's gonna be hard, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I'll do Enrage, why not? Just to show you what dynamic grouping is. I'm just gonna quickly do a new progress bar for Enraged. I'm not gonna go all over it again. It's an aura. It's called Enrage. It's on me and it's a buff, and I want on only. Well, nobody can place it on me. I'm gonna do quickly heal bot. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna do loads, player class, player class, druid, and I'm gonna do as guardian. So there we go, and the name will be Enrage. There we go. And bar color I'm gonna do I'm just quickly doing this just to show you what grouping is. But I want it to be a bit nice, so I don't want any text on it. If you don't want anything, you just delete it, then press space bar so you have a space and then enter, and then it doesn't do anything. There we go. Stack count, stacks, there we go, I don't need that. But I'm gonna do it white to 50 again and height 20. Now, you can, if you click on the eye icon here, you see it's closed. You click on it and then it will show you, so you can, you know, place it over. But that's not needed because there is something really awesome. It is called new dynamic grouping. You can make a group, but I always make a dynamic group because then the shortest cooldown normally is on the bottom. And that's just, let's call it buffs. And I'm gonna move Enrage to this group. You click the arrow icon first, and then you select the group buffs. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same for the heal. There we go. And now you click on the buffs and you see them both in the same group. You just drag them over to the same place and they are perfectly aligned. Now what it is gonna do is, you're gonna see, I'm gonna go in bear form. Oh no, I'm gonna do this first. Bear form, rejuvenation, and then this. See? And then when one is gonna go, well, it's gonna be really close. Gonna quickly see it. If you would stack a couple, then it will like fall in each other if you choose it to. Dynamic group is really handy. You just place everything in the same group. You do that group over here, and it just aligns perfectly without you needing to, you know, enable it and then just track everything. So the same with my cooldown group. For my monk, you see, it's like a whole group. I placed everything in the one group and it's perfectly aligned. It's really handy. And the reason I have this enabled is because my Hearthstone and stuff is in it as well. So that's for the buffs. Now debuffs works exactly the same way. You do, but let's make an icon this time. Let's make an icon, and then do what's it called? Weakened blows. that's the debuff, and I'll place that. I'm just gonna place it in them. No, I'll place it here. Doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna use it at the moment. What it's gonna do is my trash. It does a debuff on the target called Weaken Blows, and I want that up, and I want to keep track of it. So what I'm gonna do is, it's an aura. Aura name is Weaken Blows. Note that it's not called Trash. Trash is the ability that gives it, but Weaken Blows is the debuff. I don't want to track it on me this time. I want to track it on the target as well, and I want to track it as a debuff. It's not a buff, it's a debuff, and only. And then display. I'm just gonna go with all of this. It doesn't really matter. Cooldown, you can show the cooldown like that. Text, I don't need the text. So let's just check. Did I Weaken Blow? I think. Just go to a dummy. And we do. And there we go. And now you have an icon that shows up. There we go. If you click the target again, you still have it. There we go. So that's how you do a debuff and buffs. Now, you can also do it with talents, but the thing is, with talents, that you need to be spec'd into them before you can make it. If I'm gonna do a Heart of the Wild to track how long it's still up or when it's off cooldown, then I need to have that as a talent. Otherwise, I can't make it. Once it's made, you can just, go out, take another talent, and it won't show. But you need to be in the talent that you want to make the string for. So that's that. Now, I think that's about everything. Oh yeah, you want to see maybe how you track a cooldown of a spell. It's new. Let's take my bar skin for example. I want to have an icon with the cooldown on it when my bar skin is on cooldown. And I'm gonna go to trigger. I'm gonna go to status and to cooldown progress of a spell, and then you delete all of this here, and you just name it perfectly like it says on the tooltip: bar skin invalid number. Did I misspell it? I probably did. Good way. Oh, it's not bar skin, it's bark skin, of course. So there we go. And I want it to show over here, or to over here, something like that. It's a bit out of the way. There we go. I wanted to show the remaining time. And display cooldown. That's the cooldown. The other one I'm going to remove then. And the text, it doesn't stack either, so I'm just going to do it like this. This should work. Now let's see. I do bar skin, and there we go. I have an add-on that tracks it, because I didn't have WeakAuras till about a couple of days ago. That's the thing. Sometimes you make a new UI and you forget some things, and I was too lazy to just configure everything all over again. I forgot to save it. So there we go. Bar skin is almost on cooldown. 5, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. I can use it again, and there we go. And you can make it like that. Sorry, I had to drink something. Got a dry throat. And you can do the same for items. You can do the opposite as well. When you go to the trigger and you select inverse, then it will only show when it's off cooldown. So that's quite handy as well. Just play around with it. You can see crowd control, that 9 runes. You can do normally power as well. Threat situation, stances, auras, weapon enchants, conditions, combo points, chi power, When an action is usable again, everything that you want is under status. Um, and that's about it. If you have any questions, just contact me. I would highly recommend you to try it out because you really can track everything with it. You can place it everywhere, anywhere, and it's really handy. So any questions, feel free to contact me and I'll be glad to help you out. If you want any of the strings that I have, I'll quickly reload. No, yeah, I'll quickly relog to my Brewmaster, for example, that I can show you how I set it up there. If it logs out, we got it. Yep. Oh, what's with the loading time? Probably because I'm recording. Come on. Okay, now there we go. And I'm gonna go. Am I in Brewmaster? Yep. And I'll turn everything on. This is my configuration, except this thing shouldn't be there. Dock. That's what I mean. See, my dock would load it, but I don't have that. So now I'm just doing it like this, and now it won't. Normally, yeah, there we go. It won't load anymore, and the same for my bar skin, but I'm gonna delete that one. Load it. Gonna load everything. See, I got my cheat tracker. I got my power. When my keg smash is on cooldown, I'll try to show you a sec. It is really handy to keep track of everything, because I think in my previous UI on the videos, you can see that I had no buttons at all that you could see in the UI. I just had everything with WeakAuras. It was really handy. Yeah, I'm gonna miss like shit, but now you see my keg smash is on cooldown. There's the little bar over here, and when it's up cooldown again, it will go glow. Yeah, there we go. It glows, and then I know when I can use it again. And this is, you know, for my talents. When I use it, get a cooldown bar. There we go. And there we go. This is for what's been a while since I played this. This is for my shuffle. You see, and then it tracks that. There we go. So that's those things, and you can make shitloads for the fiber root. There we go. Now it shows the cooldown over here for my fortifying brew, and that's it really. You can make loads with it, and it's really handy. So this is my stagger count. It shows from the amount, the percentage of stagger that I have, and when to use the purifying. So it's really, really handy to keep a track of everything. Also my elusive stacks, kind of everything that I need to tank. Heartstones, you know, everything. So again, want anything, just ask me and I'll be happy to do it for you. Bye bye.